My name is Mario Behr. I'm the VP of Marketing at SeaVee Boats, and we're here on this beautiful 450Z. And we're going to do a walkthrough today. I want to show you guys around. And so in order to really get a good feel for this boat, we're going to look at more than one. We'll explore some of the key decisions you'll be making when you order one of these. Whether you'll go with the molded fiberglass helm and windshield and safety glass, or the Sportfish version with pipework and a more classic look featuring seamless polycarbonate. So join me and let's go take a look. Feed them steak?
I think
A ribeye?
Yeah, they were in there with the pilchards. I think they were snacking on those the last couple of weeks.
Okay, ready?
Bring that thing over here.
Swing it. All right, you got it. Oh, yeah.
We see pink.
Brown.
We see, oh, it's a grouper. Well, black grouper. I think it might even be legal.
Nice.
No need to gaff, right? You can flip him. You got a tape on
he
this
hook
boat?
good?
Is he 24?
Is he hook good?
Flip him on in here.
All right, hold on. Yeah, perfect. All right, here we go.
A pretty little black grouper, huh?
All right, look at him. Finally found one.
Yeah.
That would cooperate anyway.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm here with Art Sapp on the 450Z. And yeah, this is a little bit different than your average center console, right? It's got a few more systems, a little bit more of a couple of steps to think about when you're starting up. What's that like here?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a real boat. It's a big boat. You know, with Seakeeper, generator, the whole 9 yards. So you definitely need to do a little more on this one. What I like to do when I first get here is I'll turn the DC power on, just a key switch, electric battery switches. That way I got my MFDs fired up. And with this boat, the Seakeeper's controlled through the MFD. So I get the Seakeeper started spooling up. I like to do that while still on shore power. And once it started spooling up pretty good, I'll come over and fire up the generator and get it good and warm. And I don't shift over to the generator until I've got the Seakeeper fully spooled up. So while all that's going on, I'll load my rods, load my bait, load the ice, and just let all that take care of business. Once that's done, power up the keys, shift over to the generator down in the house, and away we go. We're ready to go fishing.
Got it. So you find the Seakeeper spools up faster from shore power, or it's just you don't want to load the generator?
Pretty much, yeah. I know I've got good, consistent power there. It's just pet peeve, whatever you want to call it. It's personal preference. It's the way I like to do it.
Got it.
Yep. And then early in the generator, you know, it's not fully warmed up. Once it's fully warmed up, whatever, you don't expect any issues.
Well, like any motor, right? You want to let it warm up before you put it under load.
Exactly. That's the way I prefer to do it.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
Right, wrong, indifferent. That's me, baby.
Power system wise here, I've got an AC, I've got a Seakeeper, I've got a whole bunch of electronics.
Right.
So what kind of power do I need on a boat like this?
You would basically need 50 amp service. Basically that'll power all those systems overnight without a problem, or while you're, as long as you're hooked up to shore power, you're good. You don't have to run your generator. Once you leave the dock, then you turn on the generator and all those systems are flowing again. Got it.
And this boat, it comes with all of these things?
Standard, yes. So basically the Seakeeper generator system, dual ACs, that's all part of the standard package, the refrigerator and microwave. And then this particular customer added the chill plate up in the fish box.
Oh, great. So we don't need ice?
We don't need ice.
Nice.
Create a nice slurry up there, keep the fish nice and chilled.
Well, we have to catch those still.
Yeah, still gotta go catch those.
How fast are we going?
Right now we're going about 35 knots. We're running right now currently Mercury 425 V10s. So the Mercury product sweet spot somewhere between 4,000, 4,500 is your most economical fuel range for RPM. We're currently doing about 4,400, an average of 15 gallons per hour per motor. So she can cruise in the 30s in rough sea conditions. And when the conditions allow, you can run faster. It's all about how much fuel you want to burn. If you're in conserving mode, going to the Bahamas, doing a long trip, where you just want to conserve fuel, It holds 912 gallons, so it's going to give you a lot of range.
Running to the fishing spot, and today we're powered by Quad Mercury V10 Core 25 horsepower outboards. Well, we offer a couple different options for this boat as far as power goes. You can also run triple Mercury V12s. Those are 600 horsepower. And the other option is Yamaha 450s. And that's also a quad configuration. Any one of those is really a good option for this boat. Produces a little bit different in terms of hole shot or top end, but for the most part, this is a 60-mile-an-hour boat with a cruise anywhere from the high 30s to the mid 40s.
I'm here with Jeff Seward on his beautiful 450Z. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
No, thanks for going along.
So this is not your first 450. You've had more than one.
Yeah, this is number 3. We've had a great time with them. We were the hole number 2 was the first one, and then here we are several years later. We got now what we think is the ultimate package. We've made a few changes along the way with some pipework on this one, some different configurations, some fabrics we've changed, some different rod layouts. This one's got the quad 425s, which we've been very happy with. It's a battleship.
Got it. Yeah, power's important, making these boats run the right way.
Yep.
For sure. You were working with Hunter on this one.
Yep.
And when you guys were talking through this, what are some of the things that you prioritize? Like, how do you use the boat, therefore you want certain things, access to certain things? What are some of those use cases that you were thinking about?
Well, the beauty of this boat is it kind of checks all the boxes, right? I mean, we built this boat, it's got a gap tower, so if you have those tournament days, you're out there with the group, you can tournament fish. You can have the sandbar day with the family if you want. You got plenty of comfort with that. The front lounger up front. We've got the second row seating, the bench in the back, super comfortable. You can have those afternoon tuna bites when you go out with your kids. It checks all the boxes. You know, you can do everything. On a calm day, it's great. On a rough day, it's even better. You know, the boat eats up the rough weather. Seakeeper's on board, keeps it comfortable. You know, it really, for us, it was a boat that allowed us to cover the full spectrum and be able to use it on any day we wanted to.
Got it. So you've run some other SeaVees too, right?
Yeah.
How would you compare the ride and the handling of this boat to, say, boats that are a little bit smaller or different?
I'm a little biased. This one's the battleship. This boat eats it up. You know, head sea, quarter sea. You know, it's a heavy boat. It's beamy. You know, get those rough days. You bury the tab. You go right into it. It rides exceptionally well.
So performance-wise, tell me a little bit. Like, what speed do you like to cruise this boat at?
Mid 40s is super comfortable. You know, good fuel economy at that range. It'll do 60. It'll do 62. So if you want to get on it and go on those flat days and you want to see what she's got, she'll put it out.
60 plus with a tower. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. But in the mid 40s, it's comfortable. You know, you got a good fuel range at that point, plenty of capacity, comfortable.
Is there a speed range, like let's say from 35 to 45, where the boat more or less burns the same amount of fuel regardless of how fast you go?
Yeah. You're upper 30s, mid 40s, you're about the same. Once you get in that 50 plus mark, then your economy drops off a little. Yep.
Right. So it's just a question of comfort or
Yep.
how you want to run that day.
That's correct.
Got it. Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, starting here in the bow, we've got a big anchor compartment in the front. There's a windlass in here. It's loaded with a drum and chain. You can keep your ropes and lines. Then you have a secondary access point here. If you need to get to anything that gets tangled or just need access, especially if you don't have a windlass, maybe you can keep an anchor ball in here, that kind of a thing. We've got our rod holders. This particular boat does not have combing bolsters. It's got a very clean look, very simple. You've got your freshwater wash down here with a hose and a saltwater wash down over here with a hose so that you don't have to drag it from midship all the way up here to wash things down in the bow. We've got our primary fish box here and 2 storage compartments in the floor. And an auxiliary live well. That's an optional well that we've spec'd here. This live well has a special feature. It has an overflow valve so that when you pressurize it, the water doesn't just spill out over the deck and run all the way down aft to the back of the boat. So when this live well pressurizes, that excess water goes through that valve, through this box that I'm standing on, and directly into a through hole that goes over the side of the boat. So it doesn't spill into the bilge or anything like that. The star of this cockpit is probably the bow lounger. Easily accommodates 3 people, very comfortable. Has a nice footrest that you can step on, and can spec up to 4 rod holders here, plus an additional 5th one, which is definitely going to want to be a cup holder rod holder. In this case, we also have a cup holder rod holder on this front one, so these can do double duty. If you follow me to midship, this is the entrance to the cabin. And what's really nice about this is this door continues all the way across the ceiling, the roof, so to speak. And what's nice about that is you don't have to duck in here in order to access this space. You can just open the door and walk in. All right, this is the cabin on the 450Z. Nice, we have air conditioning in here, a little bit of windows down above the seat backrests. Get some natural light in here. And also, I love this skylight. You can see I have it open right now. If I was somewhere in the Bahamas, at a dock, wherever, I definitely have this open if I weren't running the AC. It's just really nice in here, honestly. And also lets in some more light. We've got lots of options in terms of how to spec this galley over here. We're trying not to go to a full-blown kitchen since this is kind of a day boat. But you have the option of a fridge, a microwave, and pretty much anything else that you want to do with the space. There's some storage here. You have a generator. So there are definitely options in terms of what you can do here power-wise. The electrical panels over here. This is where you would have breakers and you switch over from your shore power or anything else that you need to do electrical-wise. Easy to get to. One of the key features to this cabin is a fully separate head compartment. You can close this door, have some privacy. There's a full sink, full stand-up shower in here. Obviously marine head with a holding tank. This really upgrades the space. You can come in here, refresh after a hot day at the beach, and just kind of get new. And when you come in here, you have easy access to your electronics. Anything that's mounted at the helm or running up here, like the Helm AC. Your main key switches are in here, amps, all of your MFDs, controls, network controls, easy access. Have you done any longer range trips with this boat?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You know, those long Bahamas trips, here to Harbor Island, those 6-8 hour runs. You sit there and you get in the groove, you get in your rhythm, and then you just run, Stop for fuel, grab a sandwich. You can make those trips, you go for the month of July, you're gone all summer. It's got the freezer plates in the bow, so you can pack on 600-700 pounds of ice that lasts you several weeks. Plenty of storage down below for all the bags and tackle and gear and groceries, and off you go. Got it.
When you go on a trip like that, do you live aboard and spend nights on board, or you primarily, stay at a hotel, rent a house, do that kind of a thing?
That's the beauty of the boat. You can do both. For the long trips, you can pack everyone's on there, rent the house, have the boat in the backyard, and have access to it. Or if you want to get away for a long weekend, you got the AC in the cabin, you got the berth down there, you got a shower, hot water, you take a shower, rinse off. Again, it checks all the boxes, super comfortable, gives you a lot of flexibility, which is why we're in love with the boat.
Awesome. So you mentioned a couple other things. On this boat, there's quite a few different options and configurations. As we can see here, we've got a little bit of pipework, and then also we have the fiberglass and molded safety glass and all of that that's put in here. You could do this many different ways, right? There's also a pipework option, which we call the sport fish. And you've arrived kind of somewhere in the middle. Tell me what you prefer about this setup.
Yeah, the setup now is great. The pipework gives a little bit of that sporty look to it. Previous hulls, we had the molded in tower legs. We kind of changed that up on this one. You got a clear, unobstructed view with the windshield. On those rough days when it gets rough out there and you get some spray, you're tucked in a little bit so you stay nice and comfortable and dry. But the view is really unobstructed. It really makes a difference when running the boat in the day or at night. It's the right setup, we think.
Yeah, the glass that we have here, it's not what some people would expect, right? You put your sunglasses on, polarized sunglasses on, sometimes you see certain issues. You don't have that problem here.
Not at all. There's no glare, there's no pushback from the sunlight. It's a great unobstructed view.
Yeah, that's because it's not tempered, right? It's safety glass. So this won't shatter in the same way as tempered will either. It's a lot safer. And when you're running a boat, those are important things.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you look out here and you see this windshield, there's two different ways I think that this console is available. Right?
Correct.
This version with the molded in fiberglass windshield and it's using safety glass.
Right.
And then we have another version which we call the sport fish that uses pipe work and has a more traditional look.
Aluminum pipework with a polycarbonate wraparound. The other thing you notice is also how far back it comes, so it's actually going to make for a drier ride in the rougher sea conditions.
You've got a little bit more protection.
So when this is done as pipework, all this fiberglass here is gone? How does what's different?
Basically what we'll end up doing is we don't install this fiberglass piece here, and what we'll do is attach the aluminum legs to the actual console itself, and then we'll have a frame, different style hard top above, and it'll be comparable to our other models.
So right here, for instance, on the corners, usually on this fiberglass enclosed windshield version of the console, this is also like a fiberglass stepped component.
You could do that.
So this is like a hybrid almost of sorts, right? Where there's some pipework and some fiberglass.
Yes, so it's a little bit of both. I think this one's actually, based on my experience, is a little bit better because I can see through the pipework versus the fiberglass. I find myself looking around it. This is a little bit nicer setup for me when I'm backing down into slips and stuff like that.
Got it. Got it. Have you ever gone pipework on this?
Never gone pipework. When this came out with the fixed windshield, like that was it. It was like great. No isinglass to worry about deteriorating over time. You don't have the glare issue. Easy to clean down. You rain X on it. You wipe it down. You know, it stays clear, stays clean. So for us, it's just a fix, you know. And on those windy days, and the wind's blowing, you can tuck in here and you're dry.
Got it. But you're not a hater on the pipework. I see plenty of it.
No, pipework looks great. You know, that's why we did this one with the tower legs in the back. You know, I was happy to see they came out with that option, and it gave a nice sporty look to it. So you kind of got the best of both worlds, in our opinion.
Yeah, we've gotten requests for all of the various combinations, and we hate saying no.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we've done quite a bit of work to be able to accommodate all of those different wishes that the customers have.
That's what sets you guys apart, in my opinion, is you bring tons of options to the table, and you can pick and choose what fits your need. You know, that's what makes the boat what it is.
Awesome, awesome, and you've certainly taken full advantage of it.
Oh yeah, we love it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room for displays. We've got 324s here, and then all of the other systems that we need on the boat, from the autopilot to the throttle binnacle, to the bow thruster, stereo systems, and then of course these phone chargers, which are extremely handy. Tell me a little bit about what was important to you when you were putting this helm together.
Yeah, I mean, the Garmin FDs, they're bulletproof, they're simple to operate, you know, plenty of room on the screens up there. It's just easy. Everything's at your fingertips. It's not cluttered. It's well thought out. They did a great job at the helm of just having everything where it needs to be. You're not looking for buttons. You're not looking for switches. Everything's right there. They've integrated a lot of stuff in the MFD, so it cleaned up the helm space. Just kept it streamlined and really functional, and that's what we were looking for in this build.
Got it. What else I like about how this helm unit is designed is kind of the ergonomics. Not only does everything have a place to go, like, you know, your throttle binnacle kind of has an area that it's mounted to go in. The same would be true for your joystick, and then, you know, here for a bow thruster, and then, you know, a remote for some of the screens. So that's all designed to work in a certain way. But what's also cool, I think, is not only did you point out that there's places to lay things down, but it's also made so that I can sit here, and I'm going to show you real quick what I mean. I can sit here and relax a little bit, and I can put my feet up.
Yep.
The dash is actually designed to do that, and I've seen, you know, when people ride on these boats, your feet usually end up here one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to finally have a console design that supports that and is actually made for you to sit this way, because it's safe, right? You're
safe. You put the armrest down on either side of the captain's chair, so you're kind of like, you know, buckled in the seat, and you're pushing up against the seat, so it'll be a nice, comfortable ride for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And then as far as seating goes in this boat, double row is standard? Like you're always going to have 2 rows?
You're always going to have 2 rows, and it's just a matter of whether do you want to upgrade to ladder backs on the 2nd row or just go with the standard bench.
The other thing here from the helm, looking back, we have 2 rows of seating. And in this particular boat, the front row is ladder back seats, and the back row is a bench, which actually makes it a bit more functional for kids or even a tournament fishing team, for people to just slide in and out, or even lay down, take a rest. Gives you a little bit of added functionality.
Yeah, I mean, you can fit 4 back there comfortably, you know, so you can tuck in, and, you know, when you're coming off the rocket launcher, you're taking your lunch break, you can get in there, charge your phone, rest for a few minutes, and then you're cycled back up in your rotation, you're right back in there.
Yeah. Simplicity sometimes.
That's it. Yep.
Awesome.
In the 2nd row, we actually have a storage compartment, which is great to store your leads, deep drop leads. Underneath there, just heavy objects that you might not want to put in a bucket and bounce it around. So we actually have 2 sides to that where you can put whatever you want, which is nice.
And then, I mean, I was doing this earlier. We're going up here and getting a kite out of here, but this is a huge compartment.
No, absolutely. It's big, and you could put any size kite. Basically, the bigger SFE kites, the extra light kites, which is nice. So it has plenty of storage up there, and you know, guys can put other stuff up there too. So it depends. You want to put some safety equipment, you could probably throw some of that.
Yeah.
up
So
there.
if I don't kite fish and I don't need this empty, I can put what, like pretty much what, a bunch of life
ditch
vests?
bag, or yeah, life vest, a throw cushion, something that's, you know, E-perp. You can mount all kinds of stuff up there.
And I would be able to get to that super fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then this boat does not have a tower, but as far as towers go, what are the options?
Well, you could do a marlin tower / sailfish tower is what we call it, or a tuna tower, which has a gap, a 4-foot gap, and then you're standing on that 4-foot gap.
So it'd be even taller, more
even
visibility.
taller, yeah, better visibility.
Got it, got it. On this 450, we have a full gap tower, so also referred to as a tuna tower a lot of times. We did the aluminum legs here versus the fiberglass steps that are standard. And obviously on the tower, you can see you have a buggy top. It's also a hard top, so you have some shade up there and just absolutely amazing visibility. Major upgrade on a boat like this. Art, you've been up in a tower for more than once or twice.
Yeah, that seems to be my home.
That's right, we're up here in the roost.
I'm not even home away from home. This is home.
So what would you tell someone who's wondering about whether to spec a tower or not on their boat?
So it adds about 30% more joy to your boat. When you're running in the Bahamas in a calm ocean and you're looking at the bottom and everything from up here, it's 50 times better than it is from standing on the deck. And the first time you're casting at, you know, big mahi or tailing sails or whatever, you'll never have another boat after that without a tower in it. So yes, it's expensive, and yes, it's more maintenance, but the amount of joy you get out of the tower is worth every nickel and every ounce of effort that you got to put in to keep it right, in my opinion. It adds such so much better view, a better scene that it's, even just for cruising around, it's a no-brainer for me. I would never have a boat without some kind of elevated operating area plus viewing area, you know.
Got it.
Yep.
So, but what I've noticed about a tower like this that's also good is if you do have people snorkeling or your family in the water and you're trying to keep an eye on everybody at the same time.
That part of it actually kind of sucks if you're the boat owner and operator, because yes, I've always got, you know, when we make those Bahama trips and everything, I seldom get in the water myself because I don't like anchoring down when you're in that kind of bottom. You're so likely to do damage. So, and plus if something happens, I want to be maneuverable and be able to get to them, and you can see them so clearly. You keep track of your people, and you, if there is a potential issue coming, you can frequently see it from here much sooner than you're going to from the deck.
Exactly.
So yes, there's certainly added benefits like that. That, and when you're running in an area you don't know real well and you don't want to strictly trust your plotter, you can get up here and you can see the bottom so much better and keep yourself from getting in trouble running into a coral head that in many places comes all the way to the surface, you know?
Yeah, you're just way more aware of wherever you are, right?
You're safer, for sure.
Finding your way around unknown areas. What about nighttime?
If you can black everything out, the issue with it is your nav lights glow enough that they can be a bit of a problem. There's definitely better from up here, but at night I prefer to go slow and get down and use my big machines and use the technology I've got there. I've got a FLIR in my boat, and I find that thing to be amazing. And of course your radar and your plotter and everything, that I'd prefer to be down there.
Got it. Anything else you tell somebody about speccing a tower or thinking about putting a tower on their boat?
You want to, this boat's not done, but you want to black out this. You want to black out anything you can. Get rid of all the glare. Because again, you have this for the visibility, and the more, obviously you got the blackout wheel, which is crucial. I black out all the chrome on my controls, everything. I would never allow for that. Anything that might catch glare and take your eyes off of what you're looking for. He's got gray powder coat up here, or whatever this is, perfectly fine. But I do that too. This is all black pipework. Other than that, put as much electronics as you can possibly fit up there, because at some point you're going to want it.
Right.
And I prefer a standalone VHF for the tower as well. Most people have those like command module mics or whatever, a separate VHF entirely.
Basically a full duplicate set of controls.
Correct.
If you can do it.
Yep. I mean, you end up living up here, and you want all the same comforts that you got at the Helm downstairs up here that you can fit.
Got it. What about downsides? What about concerns and things that you might want to just be ready that you're going to be living with this?
Well, it's certainly a considerable amount of maintenance. I keep good ceramic coat on all my pipework at all times and maintain that. Always rinse and chamois, spot zero rinse and chamois. And it definitely adds maintenance. Add a tower, add an hour, they say. And it's not wrong, but you've got an investment here and you got to take care of it. So that's really about the only downside. That, and don't let drunk idiots get up here. That
Right.
can be a problem.
Right. You want to make sure that you
Yeah.
climb up and down safely.
Correct.
You run a tower without a gyro, so it is possible.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, yeah. They weren't around 10 years ago. Really, nobody had them, and we the big sport boats and everything else. We did it, but it's a lot more comfortable with stabilizer for sure.
Yeah, because the tower does add extra roll.
Oh, for sure.
Got
for
it.
sure. And it knocks your speed back a little bit. You got to take that into account. But all of that is well worth having. I will never own a boat without it.
Here in the aft cockpit, we have controls for all of our bait wells and all of our systems back here. We can start up the generator, control the MFD display, all without going to the helm. There's also a tackle station, fully integrated. Drawers for a variety of different leader material. Plano boxes of all sizes. It's really pretty much everything you need that's here. And then once the tackle station is closed, you can put a cushion here on this backrest. We've got magnets hiding behind here, so this entire surface is a cushion that you can lean against. That way when the cooler is out, it's a fully usable bench seat. So the setup for the fishing cockpit in this boat, it's SeaVee through and through still, right? There's still a sliding actuated cooler, even though it's a huge outlet, but you've done a couple other things there. What else you got going on?
Yeah, the sliding cooler is a nice feature. Runs off electric ram with a switch. Your 2 coolers to separate your drinks, what have you. All your controls are in the back of the leaning post. You have your generator controls, your live well controls. Everything's right there at your fingertips. So if you're fishing the cockpit back there, you can turn around. You can turn your pump on off if you need to.
The other thing I noticed is the boat has a rocket launcher.
Yep.
And it's kind of central to the whole cockpit, it looks like. I mean, that's where everything happens.
Yep, that's where the action is.
Yeah. I like to use mine for different things, meaning, on a 370, the way it's mounted, you can spin it around, and you can put a seat back there and kind of make it almost like a little lounge area with a table.
Table service,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is set up a little bit differently.
Yeah, this one we don't have the rear seat, but that's an option as well. You can put the rear seat in there. That rocket launcher does swivel. So again, the beauty of the boat is you have different configurations and different options. So if you want that back row bench, you can set up that way. You've got more room for entertaining, hanging out, accessibility, whatever.
Yeah, awesome. It really does do everything. And that's a big, wide space between the live wells there.
Yeah, it's huge back there. I call it the dance floor.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple unique features about this rocket launcher and make it usable, ergonomic. There's a drawer right here where you can go ahead and keep cutters or needles or hooks, anything you need to get to regularly throughout the day. And what's actually nice is you have a magnet built into this little tray right here, so anything metal like a hook or needle will just stay there. Wind won't blow it out, won't scoot around, won't accidentally end up on the floor. A couple of neat features. 2 cup holders, 6 rod holders, plus there's a 0-degree rod holder here. It puts this rod upright. It's great for gaffs, especially if I'm standing here fishing these 3 kite lines and I need to stick a gaff here or anything else like a kite reel that I might need access to. It's good to have that additional rod holder. It also swivels so that mostly we can get to this machinery room lid. This machinery room lid will not open like this. And so swiveling the rod holder creates the necessary space so that we can go ahead and open this lid. Yeah, the other thing I noticed is all the compartments and latches are pretty big and things are pretty easy to get to. Like for instance, this machinery compartment here in the center of the deck. What's hiding under here?
Right there we have a generator, an Onan 9kW and a Seakeeper 5. What's nice about the size of that hatch is that if you ever had to service, pull out the generator or pull out the Seakeeper, you have great access. You don't have to cut the deck, which is nice. There's not a lot of disassembly required. I don't have to pull the Seakeeper out in parts. I can literally pull the whole unit, which at the end of the day will save you, time and labor costs.
Right. Besides the machinery room that we have over here, we also have access to some other things that are hidden away in the transom.
Correct. So we'll have access to the engine terminal block in the back, access to your coolant for your generator. On the port and starboard hatches below deck, you'll have access to your Mercury K-plane pumps, also additional terminal blocks, your fuel water separators for the motors. On the port side, you'll have a water heater for the shower inside the cabin.
It's like a house.
Yeah, you have basically all the amenities, and what's great is like accessibility. Believe it or not, that's the hardest thing. You know, guys tend to put a lot of stuff in these boats and then you don't have room to work in them, and then service becomes an issue. But here you have plenty of access to everything where anyone can get in there and solve the problem. So you have these two other hatches on the port and starboard side. These are two fish boxes. They're 5 foot long, which is nice. This comes standard as a compartment, but it could also be doubles as a live well.
Okay. Now, when I make this a live well, does the lid change at all?
At that point, we would basically have a fixed hatch on the deck, and then we'll do a hatch within a hatch, which it could be either clear or fiberglass, whichever you prefer. And it'll have a live well lid comparable to what you see on the transom wells.
Got it.
And then the two other back hatches is basically access to your port and starboard bilge, which you'll have your through-hole valves for your live wells to pressurize the live wells. Also, you'll have some machinery, trim tab pumps down there. You'll have on the port side, on the starboard side, you'll have access to your freshwater tank where you have a valve that can go from port to starboard. So you have, you know, access to all the important valves on the boat, which is important.
And what I noticed also is when you open these compartments, there's a 5-gallon bucket in there, which we're using as our,
which is
our
great.
trash.
Or your trash, or you can put all your cleaning supplies in there. You have 2 buckets that stands up. You know, it's a 4.5 gallon bucket, but it's got plenty of, like I said, storage for all your stuff where everything has a place.
This boat isn't overloaded with live wells. It really just has the standard 2, but there's a lot more options to place live wells here. And I think we
Correct.
also have something really special, which is in these compartments. So maybe you want to tell me a little bit more about what's happening.
Well, on this particular 45, we do have tuna tubes in the back. So it has the 2 live wells on the corners, and then it also has the tuna tubes in the back, and it's dual tuna tubes, which is nice. So when you're not using it, it's a nice finished compartment on top, nice solid transom.
All right, so maximum on this boat, I could have basically 5 live wells plus tuna tubes, in which case,
Correct.
I feel like a sea chest system is a must-have.
Absolutely.
So Jeff, I understand you're a bit of an expert on sea chests and live wells, and you've got some setup here in this boat. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, we got 5 live wells on the boat, 2 in the cap, 2 in the deck in the back, 1 in the bow. We have 2 3-pump sea chests that serve those wells, along with the Seakeeper, generator, raw water washdown, and the air conditioning cooling pumps.
Got it. So this boat needs quite a bit of water for different systems.
Yep.
So how does that work as far as where you direct all of the water?
Everything's valve oriented, so you can go to the sea chest and turn your live wells off if you want to. Generators on all the time, obviously, same with the Seakeeper. But you can isolate the valves based on what your needs are, and the sea chest stay fully primed and serve the water needs when they're needed.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, so again, so you tell me you have 5 live wells on this boat. Is it just for convenience? You actually run into times when you need all 5?
Tournament days, you need all 5. You know, fun fishing days, the 2 in the cap work just great. You have what you need when you need it, and that's the beauty of this boat is you have the flexibility to use the features when you need them, and other days, you know, you may not need them, but when you need them, you got them.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, so I'm here with Hunter Barrett. Hunter helped Jeff spec this boat, and you've done more than one of these.
Yep.
When someone's looking at a boat like this, they're in between a couple of things. Like maybe, should I be looking at a 420? Should I be looking at a 450? Why one or the other? What are some of the thoughts you have about that?
Yeah, I mean, we do get that question quite a bit at boat shows, things like that. And for me, what I'll tell customers is it all, and this is with building every SeaVee, how do you fish and how do you use your boat? Like the guys that are gonna be doing canyon trips where they're staying overnight, the guys that are running to the oil rigs for a night or 2-day trips, guys that are going to the Bahamas a lot, you don't always have the opportunity to hook up the shore power, to charge the Seakeeper batteries, to charge your air conditioning batteries, all this different lithium systems we have on a lot of these boats now. And for me, if that's the case, then the answer is the 45. We've got a pretty big generator tank, about 35 gallons. So with that, you could run the boat 3 or 4 days, both ACs running. You never have to worry about the Seakeeper shutting off on you, even with all the engines shut off. So if you're staying overnight on the hook, you know, you're not staying up all night worrying about when's my lithium going to run out.
Got it. Yeah, I think there's a couple other differences when you think about it too, right? A 450 has a full cabin and air conditioning standard, which that also uses power.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing is, I mean, people always ask which boat rides better, and it's kind of the same old thing. There's no replacement for displacement. there's just no way around it. It's a 45-foot boat. It's heavier than the 42. We've been out in this boat in quite a few big seas, and the boat's just extremely comfortable, extremely dry. Not that our 42 is not, but it's a noticeable difference when you step on board the 45.
Yeah, I think Art was talking about that too. He's saying that this thing rides out.
Definitely.
I guess another difference between the 42 and the 45 is that specifically on the 42, we've kind of optioned it so that, you know, not everybody wants a Seakeeper, not everybody necessarily wants air conditioning. So those systems are optional there. And because generally we don't run a generator, we run that with batteries, you know, someone can configure that, inspect that, and then have those features, as you said, for a period of time.
Correct.
As long as your power lasts. Whereas when you come here, all that stuff is standard. So you're in a completely different situation.
Yeah, and it's still, it goes back to that same old thing, like how do you use your boat and how does your family, more importantly, use your boat? Like we still build boats for hardcore fishermen. A lot of guys in the 42 will opt not to get the Seakeeper, not to get these lithium systems. We're putting 2 huge live wells in the deck of that boat. But more and more, we're finding that everybody just doesn't want to fish all the time. They want to put their family on the boat. They want to go do a week in Harbor Island or a week in the Abacos. And there's something to be said when your daughter or your wife can sit in the back second row or back bench seat of this boat and have air conditioner blowing on her when it's 95 degrees out and the guys are trying to deep drop. It makes a big difference on the kind of time that they have and do they want to come out on those trips with you.
Right, exactly. It's for everybody. All of a sudden there's comfort for everybody and everybody can hang out and make it a day on the water.
For sure. If the kids want to go downstairs, they can turn on the TV. A lot of these boats have Starlink hooked up to them now. You could have Apple TV downstairs. They can get out of the heat for an hour or so, watch a show, have their lunch, and then be ready to come back up and get back in the water.
Yeah, no, that's huge. I also noticed that this boat comes with, well, I don't know if it comes with, but has 2 hull side doors.
Definitely. Another nice thing, especially, you know, it's hard to believe, but a lot of big boats these days are taking 45-foot tenders. So that's another nice thing. If you're looking for a tender, we can have these inward swinging side doors, which a lot of people don't do. You know, our side doors are single piece. You can be hip up to the big boat and be able to have your guests coming on and off board, and it doesn't matter which side you're on. We're able to accommodate both those.
Yeah, no, super nice. Also, just anchored up, sandbar, whatever, getting in and out of the boat, diving.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, really good. Anything else that kind of came up for you during this build that, you know, kind of, hey, you're speccing a 45, you're thinking about a 45, don't forget about this?
For me, the questions we always ask customers are how you use your boat. You know, like Jeff's boat in particular, obviously this is the 3rd iteration we've done. You know, with us, we realize he does spend a lot of time in the Bahamas, and so we go for some more bulletproof options if you want to look at it like that. We did try to do away with some of the coaming bolsters because we have a nice finished gunnel. It hits you at a nice place in the leg already. You don't necessarily need that extra padding. And now we're not worried when we have guests on the boat. Like, are we gonna put a gaff in the bolsters? Are we gonna pull a fish over the side and tear them? It's a little easier to maintain. You know, it goes down to little details. Like we're putting scan struts in the second row. So when his kids are running the boat, everybody's not trying to look for a different wire. You can just put whatever phone you want in the scan strut, phone chargers in the back. You know, having the multiple live well options. For us, we love the tower when we're over in the Bahamas, so like that was a must for this particular build. Down to the screens. I mean, we started off on his first boat, we had 2 big screens and a single small one in the center. And we realized, you know, it just looks, your eye gets drawn to that smaller screen. It's like, if we could have 3 big ones, all the better. These little things you learn as you build the boats and you spend time on them. I mean, that's the most important thing too, is actually being out, using the boats, fishing on them, and not just fishing, but spending family time on the boats and doing different things where you get a feel for what a lot of other people might be using the boat for as well.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for those insights, man. Appreciate it.
Of course.
So when someone is putting a boat like this together and they're speccing it, I think it's reasonable to have some questions about rod holder placement, electric reel, outlet placement. I mean, how should people think about that? What's important? What's too much? How do you think about it?
In my opinion, you certainly want to cover anything that you might do. Not that you do, but anything you might do. And then also consider what the boating community that frequently purchases these kinds of boats might do. Because the more you have, the more features you have that suits the next buyer, the better off you're going to be in the long run, right? So rod holder placement, say you're a trolling guy. Well, SeaVees are known for kite fishing guys down here, and most of your buyers come from down here. So I would certainly still consider putting a full rod holder package, because when SeaVee does it in factory during the build, they're perfect every time. It's amazing how well they do. So I would look at a proper kite setup, plenty of rod holders all the way up the gunnels. There's no reason not to do it. Doesn't hurt the boat any, for structural integrity or anything like that. So, and then of course, whatever trolling spread you want. As far as outlets go, the more the merrier. Deep dropping, kite fishing, whatever you might do, pulling dredges. You certainly need a pair, one on each side midship, at least one in the bow, and certainly one each side stern.
That's 5 minimum.
Minimum. And if I'm doing it, I'm putting a pair in my leaning post as well, or in this area for flying my kites out of the riggers, and I have them inset, no wires going to the gunnels.
Got it.
So for mine, 7 minimum on a boat I'm building. The more rod holders, the merrier too. Storage inside in the lounge area up there. I love the rocket launcher, and as many as you can put across the transom there is never a bad thing. And I'm a fan of these as well, just because anything you can get off the gunnels or out of the way is something you're never gonna have an issue with while you're fighting a fish. And we're moving around a lot, especially when we're kite fishing. We'll multiple fish tight. You got guys going up and down the gunnels. You don't want to have rods that you're having to try to work around the whole time.
Right. All right, any other insights you want to share just as a captain running a boat this size? Something for someone to think about is in the market for something this size?
Yep. Absolutely. So there's a rule that I always play, because this game's expensive, but most things that are fun are expensive. So maintenance. Maintenance comes 2 ways. You schedule it, and it's relatively expensive, but not so bad. But if maintenance schedules maintenance, that's when we really, really get expensive. So stay after it, whether you're paying somebody or you're doing it yourself. Stay after everything. I like to make a checklist before and after trips, run through everything, anything getting loose. And as aggravating as a chamois is, he's your best friend, because that really makes you pay attention. As you're rubbing down the entire boat, you see when something might be coming. It could cause a problem down the road, because you're really paying attention to what you're doing when you're rubbing that close. It's maintenance. You've made this investment, take care of it.
Something to be said for cleaning your own stuff every once in a while. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
I was even thinking once, before I buy this boat, I should offer to wash it for the guy. Because you touch everything.
You do. You absolutely do. And you can get ahead of a problem before it really gets bad and schedules itself.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Got it. Cool. Thanks for sharing that.
My pleasure.
What would you say, especially having owned more than one, that this boat is really good at?
It's really good at accommodating a lot of people and eating up whatever sea condition it's in. Calm days it's great, rough days it's even better, and the ability to just do whatever you want.
Yeah, so you use it like a big boat is what you're saying, like big boat benefits.
Big boat benefits, 100%.
Displacement, the weight, you feel that weight when you're going through rougher seas.
You feel the weight, you've got the beam, you've got the space to, occupy the bow, occupy the cockpit in the back, plenty of room in the helm for people to get situated. You can have those big crowd days and everyone's comfortable. You can have those tournament days where you have everything that you need. You can have those fun fishing days when it's you and the family and a couple of friends. Coolers are where they need to be. Your drinks are right there. You got your fishing gear set up. So it really just checks all the boxes. It really meets the needs of any type of fishing or cruising or boating you want to do.
Got it. Thanks for giving us a little bit of an insights into how you use it and what it's all about for you.
Thanks for building a great boat.
Awesome.
Yeah.